I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is my favorite types of love interest. These are for romance books, and they are kind of geared towards a male love interest with a male-female pairing, however, not exclusively. And these are my favorite types of love interest, my favorite character types. First one is the protective, considerate alpha. I love an alpha, okay, listen, I love an alpha love interest, I really do, but an alpha love interest that is oblivious to the needs of others, that is a bully, that is selfish, like inherently selfish, to me that cannot possibly be an alpha, because someone who is truly secure in who they are and their place in the world is not going to put other people down in order to maintain that status, and they're not going to be unaware, I guess, of the needs of the people that they are supposed to be protecting or taking care of, or they're responsible for. If they are responsible for other people in any way, then they need to be capable and aware of taking care of those people in whatever way that is, whether, you know, it's their business or their pack or their coven or, you know, just their family or their friend group or what have you, whatever it is. I really don't think that you can say that is an alpha love interest if they are just a jerk and not actually taking care of anything or anyone. In a lot of ways, an alpha has to be protective and considerate. I don't think that you can be an alpha, and you know, this is just love interest romance books. This isn't like, you know, the wannabe podcasters. I really just don't think that you can be an alpha, one, if you can't protect your territory in one way or another, right? If people are being harmed on your watch, you know, that's not what I signed up for. And then also, again, the considerate, I don't think that you can be an alpha if you are not capable of leading in such a way where you're aware of what's going on around you and are aware of people's reactions to your leadership, right? So that doesn't mean that you have to be like the most emotionally aware man ever, but I don't think that you can be an alpha if you are harming the person that you love and are not aware of it, and or if your subordinates are reacting badly to your leadership and are staging a coup and you are oblivious. So when I say alpha, there has to be a level of competency and protectiveness and care with it. My next one is the aw shucks golden retriever kind of. He's kind of like a good old boy, but not in the racist way. But like, he can walk into any situation and he just sets people at ease with, you know, his charm. He's very good at disarming people with his personality. However, I love this character type when they are actually hiding a dangerous / lethal edge. They are shrewd, they are aware, they are more intelligent than you are, and they can be a nice person, but they are ultimately using that as a weapon. They're using that as a tool. They're disarming you on purpose, and if push came to shove, they could take you out. And I particularly like this for a love interest because I think that this works best in books when you are introduced to this character from the point of view of somebody else. So our main character meets the love interest, they come off, you know, as a little naive, a little goofy, a little whatever, and then at some point in the book, something happens where they had to step up in a way that the persona that they've been portraying wouldn't have been capable of, because they wouldn't have noticed, they wouldn't have been aware, they wouldn't have been able to take care of it. And the main character kind of sees who is hiding behind the veil and sees who this person really is. Then they just fall right back into the, oh, you know, it's fine, don't worry about it. Mistakes happen. You stumbled into my fist. And I just love it. I love it so much. It's so hard, I feel like, to recommend these books because it's almost spoilery and it's very hard to search for them or to find them, but they're just so good when it's done really well. There's nothing more satisfying. Next is the quiet grump. This does not have to be a man. This can definitely be any gender. However, I like quiet people. I do. And I really love a quiet grump. They're not mean. They're not callous. They're not cruel. They just aren't happy-go-lucky. They're not laughing all the time. They're not making jokes. They're not a clown. They're not the life of the party. They're quiet, and they're not really thrilled with people in general. You know, they don't really like people that much. But if you are one of their people, if you are their person, they're gonna worship the ground that you walk on. They're gonna do anything for you. They will go 7 miles out of their way on foot with no shoes, you know, whatever it is. A quiet grump, they can be grumpy, but that does not equal being mean, you know? And I really, really love these characters when they stay quiet and grumpy, but as you get to know them better, you do kind of get to know how they react to things, what they mean by things, the fact that them being quiet isn't against you, it's just how it is, and the fact that they're quiet doesn't mean that they're upset with you or anything like that. And I love when those characters can be loved and appreciated for who they are and how they are. A lot of times they are kind of paired with a opposite, but that person compliments them and doesn't try to change them. Next is the sarcastic, irreverent villain. I love sarcasm so much. I love a character who can just come in and disarm you because they just are making such clever, irreverent jokes the whole time, but they're purposeful with it. They're not going to accidentally make you mad. If they make you mad, they're doing it on purpose. They're not going to accidentally provoke a war. If they do that, they're doing it on purpose, you know, that type. And especially ones that, like, they don't like the system or the status quo. Because of that, they're the villain. But in a lot of ways, you're like, I don't know. You're right about this and that thing too. I love it. I love a villain, but I particularly like one who's not too full of themselves and the quiet, evil, just, you know, I'm the most important thing that's ever happened. I love one that is irreverent. Then I have competent. Competency porn. What can I say? I love a love interest who gets things done. They get it done. They do it without you asking them to do it. They do it well. They do it the first time. They do it repeatedly. They do it, you know, as of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I'm an adult. I love that. I love it. And I particularly love when it's the love interest because it's so satisfying for the main character to find somebody like that who makes their life so much better because they just do things. They do things, they do it well, they do it without you asking. And like you can just rely on them. And that's very attractive. Next, I have a leader amongst men. I love the most powerful person in the world type of love interest. I love one who's at the top of the pyramid, the top of the pack, that, you know, is more powerful, whether that's because of money or because of physical strength or because of cunningness or because of political power, you know, whatever it is. I really just love when our main character falls for the most powerful man in the world, you know. And I think part of this is because I really get stressed out reading where the couple wants to be together, but there's kind of someone else in charge that, you know, is able to deny them and is in charge of their fate. And that person, even if they care about them, you know, is fine with telling them, no, you can't marry the love of your life, or you have to do this thing that you don't like or whatever. That really stresses me out. And so I love when the love interest is the most powerful man and no one can tell him no. No one can make him not able to be with the main character or put him in a bad situation because he's the one controlling the situations. I really like that. Then I have someone with a good support system and who contributes to that system. I think that this is rarest when it is a male love interest because a lot of times they tend to have a tragic backstory, be cut off from all the support, you know, a loner, a grump. They won't let anybody in. They don't think that they can love. They don't think they can be loved. They, you know, yada yada. Like it's a thing. But I love when we don't do that, when for whatever reason, whether they've created it themselves with the found family or they have a really supportive family, our love interest has a support system. They actively contribute to it. They're not just, you know, broody and ignoring it and, you know, causing stress and worry for their loved ones because, you know, they believe they can't be loved, whatever. I really like when they are contributing to that support system and are not afraid to take from it, and they just have people that love them and that they love, that they would do anything for, they can go to when they need help, and then they are able to give that support system in some ways to the main character, whether they have their own support system or not as the main character. I love when you get the addition of the love interest support system and they really just add to the found family and or the care that is taken for our main character, because we deserve to have people that love us in lots of different ways. So familial love, platonic love, friendship, romantic, you know, whatever it is, we deserve to have it. And I like to see our main character get more than one type of love brought to them in the book. Next, a psychopath slash sociopath. This really shouldn't come as a surprise. I know that it is contradictory to a lot of the other things that I've said, kind of, but there is just something about a psychopath slash sociopath who just doesn't feel emotions in the same way that everyone else does, becoming obsessed with the main character, and they are their thing or their person, and it doesn't really matter how that manifests feelings wise. They'll do anything to keep that person happy because they're theirs and they're not going to lose them to anyone else. They're very possessive and they're very, this is mine and I keep what's mine and I take care of what's mine, and it doesn't matter if I can feel for them the way that they might like. I'm going to do all of the acts of service and the physical manifestations of love, so it doesn't really matter how my brain processes it, because like I'm taking care of this person, I'm giving them everything that they need, but also they're kind of my thing, they're my plaything, and nobody's gonna take my toy away from me. Gets me every time. Then I have the thoughtful slash observant slash nice slash kind love interest. I love a love interest that is kind. They're kind to the main character. They're kind to the random people that they come across in the book. They are not a doormat. They don't let people abuse them or abuse other people in front of them and are like, oh, well, you need to turn the other cheek. You need to be nice. No, that nothing like that. But they are just kind. They're nice. They are thoughtful enough to know what someone needs emotionally in a lot of ways. You know, if you need them to be quiet, they can catch on to that. If you need them to lighten the mood, they can catch on to that. But whatever it is, they go about their day making things better for other people while still taking care of themselves. I think that that's important. I don't like a martyr, but I just really enjoy a love interest who makes people's day better and makes their life better, and how great that can be for the main character, because it's nice to be around people who are nice and kind and sweet and thoughtful and care about you in that way. And lastly, I don't care what type of personality it is. I don't care what type of trope you have, what your storyline for your book is. It is mandatory that I end that book feeling like the main character is better off being with this person, that they are a good partner for the main character, that their life is better because they're in them, that I could see them being happy for the next 60 years or 1,000 years if we're talking paranormal, but whatever it is, like, I need to believe that this is a good partner for the main character. So that can really be dependent on the main character themselves. What does that main character need? And have you done a good job of saying that regardless of whether they started hating each other or there was some horrible misunderstanding, or the love interest was really cruel and broke their heart. Whatever it is, whatever they're overcoming, I still need to end that book feeling like, one, that's not going to happen again. This person is going to take care with our main character. And two, that the main character, no matter what, every single day is going to be better in their life because of the partner that they have. And that partner is worthy of them and cares for them and will take care with them. You can be a serial killer. You can be a vampire. You can be the biggest and baddest of them all. But I need to feel like whatever it is that you're bringing to the table, your good outweighs your bad for the main character. And that truly, there's just no one that matches them better than you. And if you don't pull that off, then I don't enjoy that romance nearly as much, because I'm just like, is this endgame? I don't know. And there's some, where I'm actively just like, no, you two did not belong together. So whatever it is, I need to believe that you belong together and that you're worthy of that. And that's hard to do in the last chapter of a book. You really need to have the love interest get to that place or show some value before that last chapter. You can't have them be the worst all the way up to the end where the main character loves them and they're just being the worst, and then it's like, haha, just kidding, happily ever after. He was never this awful person ever again. Like, I need you to spend more time convincing me that these two are going to be great together, and that's not the main character making them great. The main character is great on their own. The love interest is making it better by meeting them on their level or even elevating them. But whatever it is, they are not the problem. They're not the problem. They are an asset. I need it. So these are my favorite types of love interests. Let me know any of yours or any of these that you particularly love. And the next video in the series will be side characters, which I am also really excited about because I think that it's gonna be a fun one. It is. Thanks so much for watching. If you did not watch the main character video, I'll have it linked. And that's it. Thanks. Bye.